Okay guys, thanks for coming to this video. This was just to do some of that extra radical practice for tomorrow's quiz because it's not on the official homework assignments. What I actually went ahead and did was just wrote the answer key on the first screen. So if you actually just want to check your work and you feel like you understood what to do, you don't have to watch the entire video. You can pause and check your work. If you did not actually work through all the problems or you got some of them wrong, it's okay to have the answer. The most important thing is how to get to the answer. So for the next few minutes, we'll go through and work out why square root 128 is 8 square root 2, or why 2000 is 20 square root 5. So let's go ahead and get started doing that. We'll just do it one at a time. The first one we're going to do is 128. A great first step is always to make a factor tree. If the number is even, dividing by 2 is always a good place to start. 2 we're done with, so we can actually go ahead and circle that. That's a leaf. 64 we can split up into 8 times 8. 8 we can split up into 4 times 2. There's another leaf. 8 we can split up into 4 times 2. And then we're going to finish this up by splitting 4 into 2 and 2, and splitting 4 into 2 and 2. There are a lot of 2's. Now that we have a good factor tree, what we can do is go back and rewrite the original question. Square root 128 is equivalent to saying the square root of, and let's make sure we get all the pieces. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my goodness. What we're going to do to simplify this radical expression is start looking for pairs. There are pairs all over this one. There is a pair right here. There is a pair right here. There's a pair right here. And then this 2 is all by itself. Whatever is all by itself is the only thing that stays in the root. Okay. The only things that belong in the root are the things that we cannot find pairs for. And then for every pair, we cross out one of them, and we rewrite the other one in front of the root symbol. So this pair gives us a 2. This pair gives us another 2. And then this pair gives us our last 2. All we want to do now is rewrite 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 8 square root 2. Let's go back and check our answer at the beginning just to make sure I had done everything correctly. Yeah, 8 square root of 2. Okay, I'll go back to that slide. If you do want to hit pause and look at anything or catch up, that's fine. Go ahead and hit pause. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep moving. Square root 45. This one's a little easier because the factor tree is just shorter. 15 times 3. And then 5 times 3. And these are all prime numbers, so these are all leaves. You stop splitting when it's prime. So we can take our prompt and rewrite it as 5 times 3 times 3. We got a pair of 3's. So now that we've identified that, what we're going to do is say, okay, that 5, that stays in the root. And then for these 3's, we get rid of 1 and we bring 1 out. So 3 square root of 5 is all we have to do. The reason this trick works, where you split it into factors and you kind of cross one out and pull out the other one, is, look, square root of 45 is a decimal. But you know what isn't? The square root of 9. The square root of 9 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So this process of looking for pairs is really just saying, okay, the entire problem doesn't have a square root, but there are pieces that do. 3 times 3, that's 9. that has a square root, it's a 3. So that's what that pair system does. Your level of understanding of that will get better and better and better. The most important thing you need to be able to do tomorrow is be able to factor and be able to look for pairs and understand how to use them to write the final answer. Hit pause if you need to hit pause, but I am moving on. Square root 108, step 1 factor tree. And if you didn't do any of this, you're just watching the video, I would hit pause and try it for yourself and then hit unpause. It's a good way to be more actively involved while listening. All right, I'm going to assume you hit pause and you just did this entire problem, right? Right. Smiley face. All right. 54 is 27 and 2. 27 is 9 and 3. And 9 is 3 and 3. So we have all of our leaves, all of our prime numbers. Oop, my pen is getting a little sloppy. So we can take square root of 108 and rewrite it as 3 times 3 times 3 times 2 times 2. Okay. There are multiple pairs in this case. There's a pair of 3s right here. There's a pair of 2s right here. This 3 is all by itself. So when we write the simplified fraction, that 3, right, that stays in the root. For this pair, we bring out 1. And for this pair, we bring out 1. And then don't forget, like, this all means multiplication. So when you write them on the outside, it's a 3 times a 2. So 6 square root 3 is the result. Let me just double check and make sure that key at the beginning is correct before we move on. Hit pause if you want to copy any of this down or think. Yeah, 6 square root 3, 6 square root 3, cool. 2,000. I'm pretty sure 2,000 can be split into 2 1,000, which can be split into 2 500, which can be split into 2 250, which can be split into 2 125, and which can be split into 5 and 25, which can be split into 5 and 5. A lot of leaves on this tree. That's okay. 2,000 is a big number, so we expect it to have a long factored form. There are 1, 2, 3, 5s, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 2s. Oh, I'm sorry. There are 4 2s. I started writing 4s. We got a pair of 5s right here. We got a pair of 2s right here. We got a pair of 2s right here. So for these 5s, we're going to bring one out. For these 2s, we're going to bring one out. For these 2s, we're going to bring one out. And the only thing that stays in the square root is this 5 right here that's all alone. And now we just simplify the outside. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. And then we have the square root of 5. I think we got one more to do. Square root 1,800. 1,800 is, well, let's see here. It's even, so we can divide by 2 and get 900. Which is even, so we can divide by 2 and get 450. Which is even, so we can divide by 2 and get 225. And 225 is actually 15 times 15. I just kind of know that. It's just a number that I've used my entire life, so I just remember that it has a perfect square root. This is a 3 and a 5, and this is a 3. Oh, my pen's getting a little non-responsive. All right, leaves. I would encourage you, if you haven't done this problem, hit pause and set up the next step and work out the next steps. Okay, I'm assuming you hit pause. So what you just did, I hope, was take the 3, the 5, the 3, and a 5. All right, that's a 3, a 3, a 5, a 5, and then 1, 2, 3 2s. And you look for pairs. And then for each pair, you brought one down. And then anything that was left behind was left behind. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. Square root 2. Let me go back and check this answer. For some reason, I feel like I put something different down. No, okay, good. I'm going crazy. Thought I wrote something wrong right there. All right. I'll go back to that problem so you can pause. But anyhow, this is all there is to it. Factor tree. Take your leaves and write them out. And for every pair, you take out 1. For everything that's not a pair, it stays inside the square root. All right, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you tomorrow.